Hello, my beautiful friend. So summer is in full swing. I know personally I don't like to wear a lot of makeup during the summertime because I'm just a sweaty, warm person. I want to show you my summer makeup routine that I've been doing that kind of just enhances my natural skin. I'm not trying to cover up any acne spots. I just want to brighten up my under eyes, add blush, and a little bit of definition. Don't mind my cats, they're being crazy, so if you hear bells or claws or whatever else, just ignore it. But I wanted to show you my summer routine. Typically, after I wash my face, I moisturize, and for the past week or no, longer than a week, maybe like 2 weeks, 2.5, I've been using the Alpenbeauty Melt Moisturizer, which is perfection. I will go in with an SPF, and this is my ride or die SPF that I've been using for years now. This is the Drunk Elephant Umbra Daily Protection SPF. This is the tinted version, but they do have one that's just plain white. But I do like the tinted version because it does give you like a little bit of a bronzy glow. But this one is a physical sunscreen, and it has a higher amount of zinc than most SPFs. So for ladies of color, you really want to make sure that the zinc in your SPF is at a higher amount because that's what's going to protect your skin from the sun. So if you're looking for an SPF, I highly suggest this one. Again, this is Drunk Elephant Umbra Daily Protection or Physical Daily Defense. What? Drunk Elephant Physical Daily Defense. Oh my gosh. And it's 30 SPF. I'm gonna go away with that. And my next step is to put on a tinted moisturizer. This is the one from Rare Beauty. Let me clean that off. This is the one from Rare Beauty, and I really like it. It also has SPF, so I think it's SPF 20, so it adds just even more protection, so the sun is not harming my skin. And it smells like sunscreen, which I like that smell because it reminds me of summer. And it has a really good coverage. Like, it's not going to be like full on, full coverage, snatched face. It's just kind of like enhancing your natural skin. So this is my go-to, and I've gotten a little bit of color, so it's like perfect for my skin tone. And then I also just use the Milk Makeup. This is the Future Fluid Concealer. This is probably one of my favorite concealers. This one and the Rare Beauty concealer. Best concealers I've ever used. They're so creamy and they just blend so well. This is 10W. I didn't say which shade this one was, but if you're similar to my skin tone, this is the shade 30N. So 30N, 10W, match me in heaven. So I already put on the concealer. I don't know why I didn't film it. I'm like trying to film a talking video and like a short transition video, and I got confused. But this is the concealer. It's a little bit brighter than my skin tone, with a little bit of like a yellow undertone, which I like. I use just kind of like a dense like stamper type brush. This is a NYX one. It's number 27. I think they still sell brushes at Ulta. I don't know. I used to work at a standalone NYX, and so I have so many of their products I don't even know if they sell anymore. But that's the NYX 27 brush, and I like to use that to blend concealer. I like to blend it enough and then take a beauty blender and kind of soften it. I usually get it blended pretty well underneath my eyes, and then I go in with the tinted moisturizer. Oh my gosh, why? I can never speak. Then I go in with the tinted moisturizer and I kind of just dot it around and then blend it in with the beauty blender, and then I start warming up my face. So let me just dot this on real quick and then I'll be right back. Got the tinted moisturizer dotted on my face. I literally just take the container and just like squeeze it on. And so now I'm going to take my beauty blender and start. I usually like to go in a downward motion and then like pat it in. I don't know if that's wrong, but I feel like it makes it look less like crepey. Okay, so now I've got the tinted moisturizer all blended and the concealer, and my skin is already looking like itself, but a little bit better, a little more glowy. Really pretty. I like it. It feels light. I feel like I literally have nothing on my face, which is great. Instead of doing a cream, I like to use a powder foundation that is like my bronzy type of color. This is from NYX. It's the Can't Stop Won't Stop powder foundation. I started using it when they first released it when I was working at the standalone NYX. And this is in the shade Golden Honey. It's a really pretty warm color. And I like, because it's a powder foundation, it gives you a little more coverage and it blends in really, really well. So usually I'll do this as my like bronzy kind of sculpting. I don't want to do too much sculpting because I feel like that takes away from enhancing summer face. I'm not trying to beat my face right now. I just want to make it look better and a little more summery, a little more wearable. You know, you get where I'm going. So we're gonna put that on. I added the powder foundation bronzer to this side, and it's not like super sculpted, but it's just warmer and you can tell a difference between the two. So that's why I use that. It's light, but it still makes a difference. So let me add it to the other side. Another thing I like to do with this is kind of like contour my nose a little bit. I didn't put the tinted moisturizer on my nose because I kind of like how like sunburnt it looks. It kind of looks like freckles, so I'm gonna leave it. But I'm just gonna take a little bit of that product on like a flat, like, I don't even know where I got this brush. I think it was from like a BoxyCharm. So I like to get that like little sunburnt button nose kind of look. So I just think it's so cute. And whatever is left over, I just kind of intensify nose bridge. Wow, I feel like I'm really bad at explaining things. The next thing I'm gonna do is set my under eyes lightly. I don't like to have a heavy under eye set. So instead of using a setting powder, I'm gonna use an eyeshadow. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I feel like the eyeshadow blends really well when I put on blush. So you'll see what I mean, but I'm gonna set it with eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the Raise Hell palette from Ollie's Lashes, the shade Pinhead, and it's like the perfect under eye set color. So I'm gonna do that with a little triangle. I feel like I'm having the most trouble. My freaking phone keeps telling me I have full storage and I literally have to delete stuff after every single video. Super annoying. So one of my favorite things about summer makeup is peachy blush. So I want to use the One Size Cheek Clapper Trio. This is in the shade Freaky Peach. I really like these trios because it gives you literally every form of blush. So my phone cut me off, but I'm going to use the powder version of the blush trio. I use a fluffy brush. This is one I got from a Milk Makeup and Sephora collab. Colors on there, and I just press it in. I feel like for summer, having a lot of blush is just like, it just feels right, you know? I also forgot to mention that I add a little bit of blush to the tip of my nose to give it that more sunburnt kissed look, and a little bit to my chin. You can even add some to like the temples to blend in the bronzy color with your blush so everything looks cohesive. Next is brows. I use the e.l.f. brow lift and the brow brush that goes with it. What I've been doing is like combing this through to like design my brows to look fuller. It sounds kind of weird, but I'm gonna show you what that looks like. I'm almost out, which is super sad, but I just take the brush and like dip it in there, and then I go ahead and put the product all in my brow. I start with the front and I start to push it all up, and what I do is I take the like end of it and start to move my hairs to make it look like my brow is more full at the bottom. So that's kind of like the look that I want. And then I just kind of keep sculpting my brow from there. Kind of like the front to be a little more sparse. I just keep playing with it until I get like the perfect shape. I think I like that. I'm gonna let that sit for a second, and then I'm gonna do the other side, so then I can just like, you know. I'm just gonna take this spatula end and just smooth them down. And I really like this technique because I'm only using one product. I am going to do faux freckles and highlight. Already started adding them, but this is what I use. I use Freck Noir. I also use the original Freck, the Freck OG, or the Freck XL. They're the same thing. One is just a big one, one's just a small one. But I ran out of those, so I'm just down to my Freck Noir, which is good because usually I get pretty tan in the summer, so this works out really well. I started doing faux freckles when I started doing makeup. When I first saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, I could never get away with doing faux freckles. Like, that's so silly. You know, like, people are gonna be like, you don't have freckles, why are you making fake freckles? And so I felt like the first time I did it, I was like really brave or something. I mean, it's like trying something new. You know, you're nervous and you don't know how people are going to react. And so when I first did faux freckles, I felt that way. I did them. I literally went through the Starbucks drive-thru and the barista was like, oh my gosh, your makeup's so cute. And I was like, oh, thank you. And it literally gave me like just the perfect amount of courage to just continue to do them. Even when people didn't like them, like I've had people tell me they're stupid or tell other people they're stupid, and I hear it and I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. It's not your cup of tea and that's totally fine, but it is mine and I love it, and I feel like faux freckles are like my signature. So that was my rant on faux freckles. If you feel nervous about doing them and need the courage, this is it right now. Please try them because they're just so fun and they just make you look so like cutesy and like, I don't know. I just love them. So if you're contemplating trying them and you're a little scared, just do it. Just do it. And then the first person you see on the street is going to be like, oh my gosh, your makeup's so cute, or your freckles are so cute. And then you're going to be like, I should have been doing this the whole time. So this is that moment. This is your sign to try them like now. And if you don't know where to start and don't want to purchase, like commit to purchasing something, I have like a 3 or 4 part series of how to do faux freckles with stuff you probably already have. So check those out. But yeah, so enough about faux freckles. I'm gonna finish putting them on and then we'll move on to highlight and then we'll be done. So the last step is highlight. This is my Rare Beauty highlight. I dropped it, so it's like little crumbles, which is really sad. I'm gonna use a little fluffy brush and I'm just gonna like take the excess little sparkles, it's so sad, and just like add it to the tip of my nose, right in between here, so it looks like it catches the light perfectly. And then add a little bit underneath my eyes, like kind of just like a little bit up here, tiny bit on my chin, and that's it. So after this, I would add like mascara and like a lip oil, but I'm gonna stop here as like this is my summer skin because I am going to use, I'm gonna like cut this off and then use this base for my next video, which is going to be using the Prados eyeshadow palette, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. To me, this is like a more like wearable summer makeup. I have seen some that are like more full coverage, which, you know, great. I'm just a sweaty gal, so if you're a sweaty person as well and you're looking for something that's like functional that you won't like sweat through, like this is good. You should check it out, try it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.